What's up, guys? We are live. We are live. Good morning, Friday. Happy Friday for those of you. Uh, I don't know, just happy Friday, period, I guess. So we'll kind of sit tight, let some people log on. As usual, I have my cup of coffee. Actually, I have two cups of coffee, one from home and then one from my in-laws today. So that's kind of like every day. That's why by 11 o'clock, I'm like all amped up to go do something because of the amount of coffee that I drink every morning. But what's up? What's up? We'll give people a couple of minutes and then we'll just get started. What's up, guys? Oh man, lots of things going on the last couple of days. Looks like we have two people in the chat. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. I don't know. My phone always has issues, and then I forgot my earpiece today. So let me know. Let me know if you can hear me. I did some filming and stuff with my phone yesterday. I did some audio work the other day for that video. Everything came out fine. And then for whatever reason, hold on one second. Okay. For whatever reason, what's up, TNT? For whatever reason, the audio like goes in and out on this phone. And it's brand new. I've had it for maybe like 5 months, 4 months, and for whatever reason, sometimes on the lives the audio goes out. And even sometimes it doesn't work when I'm recording narrations too. So I don't know. But if everything's good, just put okay, put a thumbs up. So at least I know you guys can hear me okay as I drink some more of my coffee. Hope you guys are having a good morning. You guys have any plans this weekend? You guys got anything going on? I know for me, I'm going to be driving Grubhub this weekend and DoorDash, and it's going to be pouring rain. What's up, Lyric? What's going on? Let me see. I'll jump into some of the comments, and then we're going to talk a little bit about this video and some things that I was kind of surprised about. So I was actually really surprised about some of the things that are happening with this video right now. So but let me see. Let me check the notes real quick, and then we can kind of kick it off. Let me see. Daniel needs to study more the problems, and he needs to have a good, strong roots to grow. Yeah. So let's just kind of jump into the video, and then we can talk about Cobra Kai. We're gonna make this an open Cobra Kai chat for today. I'll probably be on for a half an hour, and then I'll start going driving or whatever. But usually between like maybe 9 and 9:30, there's usually no orders. I just sit here, and so that's why I decide this is when I usually do the live stream. So um, I agree with you, Lyric. I think what's happening right now with Daniel, and hopefully you guys can hear me. I don't know. Nobody said okay. I hope you guys can hear me okay. If you can, just hit an okay or put a thumbs up or something, just so I know you guys can hear the audio quality okay. Um, but I think you're right. There's a lot of truth to Daniel, and I will tell you, in the first 5 episodes of season 1, I'm like, what's going on? This is all going back like at the very beginning, my first few live reactions to Cobra Kai. I was like, what's going on, TT? Okay, thanks, man. Glad you guys can hear me. And even I was scratching my head. I'm like, what's going on with Daniel, man? And I know a lot of it has to do with a certain level of success. Like you said, the roots aren't always so grounded as we experience success. Sometimes we forget where we came from or forget what we've gone through. And so it changes the perspective and the trajectory of our life sometimes. And that was kind of like my assumption with him. And so I was a little disappointed originally, 2 years ago when this first came out. I was like, what's going on with Daniel? And then he had moments of redemption and all of that, which was great. And season 2, I had the same issues where I'm just like, what is going on? And so what I wanted to do with that video is, I just tell you right now, I did not intentionally, like I said in the video, I didn't go out and go, let's go make a Daniel video just to like smash him and make him look like a dummy. That wasn't my intention. I was actually looking for clips for the last video that I released, and it just, there was this over blaring like I don't know, like red light as I'm watching it, scrolling through every single episode all over again. And I keep seeing these flashes of Daniel, and I'm just like, what a jerk. And then I'm scrubbing through, looking for other videos and clips, and that happened all the whole day that I was in my car doing that, waiting for orders. Something started to build inside of me where I was just like, man, what's this guy's problem? And don't get me wrong, I know that the character was written this way to cause controversy. I'm not saying that. I know that. That's what made awesome drama. I'm not knocking the writers. They did an amazing job to take a hero that we care about, that we cherish, and turn them into what we saw in season one, season two. Dude, that's brilliant writing. So I'm not knocking that. All I'm saying is that if you did not know the Karate Kid episode, or I'm sorry, Karate Kid Part One, if you didn't know anything about Daniel, anything about him, and all you had to go on was season one and season two, what would you think of Daniel? Right? That was the question. That's all I'm saying. Be objective. Just take a look at what is happening. And so, and that's what I was asking you guys to take a look at. Be objective about it. And kind of what I've seen was. Let me just tell you this before we get back into the comments and and we'll talk, kind of open discussion and stuff. But what I was expecting, you guys, this is honest with real transparency. What I was expecting was for there to be like this uproar, like how dare I talk about Daniel, and the exact opposite happened. The exact opposite happened where people are like, if you go back into the comments recently, agreeing with it. And it's like, I'm not trying to say that I don't like Daniel. I do. I love his character. But the truth is, he's kind of being a douchebag right now. And that's just how he's been. And I know he's going to find balance. And I know that he's going to become this hero again. And that we're going to look at him in that light. Maybe more likely of him and Johnny come together to fight, their common enemy or whatever. Who knows? But I know that there's going to be a balance. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that if you just look and be objective and know nothing about Daniel prior to the Cobra Kai series, what would you think of him? Would you look at him and go like, this guy is a hero, or this guy is like maybe not the hero? And so that's kind of what I did. But like the overwhelming response in comments has been in agreement with me, and I was not expecting that, guys. I thought I was like, I'm gonna throw this one out there, and I'm just gonna put a little controversy into it because I'm just observation. This is what I'm seeing, and so I'm gonna show that narrative of your objective. This is what he is, and that's kind of what happened. And so it's interesting to see that, but it's all in good fun, guys. It's like really cool to see everyone talk. It's kind of cool to see you guys like bicker with each other too. It's pretty funny, man, because I think we all have this investment. The only thing that I really ask is people to be objective, and that's the hard part. It's hard for people to be objective over a character that they really love. So, and then before I forget, guys, because I'll start going to the comments and we'll start kind of open dialogue and all that, is don't forget to first like this video, send it out if you can on social media. I always appreciate that. I'm getting better at remembering to say that, and I usually say it in the beginning because then I forget. And then two, we are working on another video right now. We actually me and my buddy Nick Nack went out and did some shooting. But of course, if you're not a patron, you didn't know that, right? New Life knows because she's a patron. She got to see some clips of what is going on right now. And I'm telling you, man, just dumping this footage and starting to look at it, and I just know it's going to be epic. It is going to be something that's amazing. But if you're not a patron, you're not seeing all that stuff behind the scenes, and more to come. So I'm hoping to get that video, start working on it probably this weekend. It's going to take me a little bit of time because I realized this morning, I'm like, you know what? I think there's some other things that we can shoot to add into that video to make it like one of the dopest videos. Yeah, I said dope. I said it. It's going to be amazing, man. So it's really, and it's around Cobra Kai, which is even better. So I think it's going to be a pumped video, and you guys are going to really enjoy it. And yeah. So it's going to be awesome. So let me jump into the comments really quick. Hold on one second. Let me scroll back up. All right, I'll start with TNT. Says, what do you think Robbie is in all of this? So I can go on and on for days with Robbie. I don't know if you mean by like how he impacted or where his future is going, but I think, just watching even with Daniel, I really truly believe that he was necessary, because if it wasn't for Robbie, you guys, if it wasn't for Robbie, Daniel was going down this really like negative, like complete opposite of Miyagi. Though, if you think about it, it was more like something you would see in Cobra Kai, and so it was just very like I don't know. It was dark. He was going down this dark path, right? And if it wasn't for Robbie, Robbie's the one that gave him purpose again. Robbie's actually the one that helped him regroup and kind of like you said, lyric, put his roots back down within karate. It was actually Robbie, him being able to teach and him being able to share. It kind of brought him back to the light side of Miyagi Do and find purpose by becoming a sensei. So I think he was a very, very critical character to kind of reel Daniel back in, which is why it's so heartbreaking that he says in that clip, and I think I have it, I did have it in this one where he just crushes Robbie and like all of this was a waste of time and you know you want to turn out like your father and just completely abandon him when that has been like literally those last couple months the only father like figure that this guy has probably ever had in his life. He just crushed them. And so but with everything that happened in episode 10, you know that he might be on the run. I don't know how long, you guys. I've said this. I think it's gonna be most of the season. People will agree with it, people don't. That's okay, but I think he has to find some sense of redemption as well. And I'm not sure if that's going to happen in season 3. Just think, I want you guys to think long term with Cobra Kai because this has become such a smash hit. They're not in a hurry to unravel this whole story. Now, as viewers and fans, that's exactly what we want. We want answers and redemption and everything in one season. That's not going to happen. It's going to kind of roll out over a couple of seasons, so that way we can focus on maybe two characters this season that have the real bigger stories, and then next season we go on to the other characters. It's nothing different that you've seen in any show that you've loved. That's exactly how they keep it growing, keep us into it, keep us wanting more. And so I think there's going to be a somewhere along the line where he finds redemption, and there will be some power in that storyline when it happens. I'm assuming it's like season 4 because there's just too much that just happened, and there's kind of like the fallout from everything that's happening. So I think he's a great character. I like his character. A lot of people don't, and I get it. And even watching season 1 over again, the first couple episodes of Robbie, I'm like, I didn't like him. I didn't like him all over again. And I've already watched season 2, but just like being objective to what he's doing in those moments, you're like, man, this kid's like not a good kid, and then he finds Miyagi Do. So even now, still being objective, like it's been a cool thing to watch. So let me go back. Sorry, guys. Bart says I always hated how he blamed Robbie for everything wrong, even though his spoiled brat of a daughter caused the problem at the party and indirectly caused the school fight after she two times Robbie. You know, like the great thing about that storyline is there were so many like things like the butterfly effect that one thing causes another thing to happen from like all of the characters. And if you think just one person did something different, like you said, Sam didn't kiss Miguel, or Tori never hooks up with Miguel, like one change or one different choice, and all that stuff could have not happened. But that's what makes good TV, right? Lyric says the problem is after Miyagi died, I think he lost his path. Yeah, he did. And there's this scene I watched it just was it yesterday or day before when he goes to Mr. Miyagi's grave and he says something that's really really insightful and truthful about where his mindset is that he says, Mr. Miyagi, like you seem to always have the answers, and maybe you just made it look easier than what he's experiencing now, but that he's really lost. And that's the real truth, is that even as an adult, even this is what I've told my kids, man, this is real world. Even as an adult and as you grow up, you just get older. It doesn't mean your mindset changes, doesn't mean that you mature. Some people do, hopefully people do, but that's not always the case. And I think that because he had that conflict in like Karate Kid in those movies, that forced him to mature with Mr. Miyagi. But once Mr. Miyagi passed away, I'm not sure if he really matured anymore. And then I think becoming a sensei is helping him mature, but after he's already set off a sequence of events, and now he's trying to find balance. He basically stoked the fire, and now it's forcing him to mature. It's forcing him to make decisions, and that's kind of my take on him. So let me go back. I hope that makes sense. Art says, I hope Sam is held accountable in season three, not be grounded either. Sam doesn't deserve Miguel or Robbie. They deserve better, which I hope Sam remains single because nobody wants her. Man, you have it out for Art. You have it out for her. This is a new life. Looking at Daniel, not knowing the background, of course, makes him look like an ass, just as Johnny looked like an ass in the first Karate Kid. Exactly. It's funny. Thank you, New Life. It's funny. My buddy Nick, we went out to go shoot on location, and then we came back, talked about the shoot, and then he's never really seen all of Cobra Kai season one, so we sat down to actually watch it, and then we got to that scene where Johnny sits down with Miguel and starts to share his perspective of what happened. And guess what my buddy's like? I could totally see this now. I could totally see through Johnny's lens, like how Daniel like destroyed his life and his relationship. So it's just through the lens of who you're looking through is their truth. And I think that's kind of my purpose of that video was just to shine some light on the truth of who Daniel is right now in this moment, season one, season two. This is where he's at in his life. It doesn't matter what he's done in the past, whatever. This is who he is at this moment. And so I know he's a character, but it's the truth. Anyone out of context can look like it. Exactly. All it takes is one moment, and that's what we're focusing on. Just these 2 seasons of who he is right now and where he's at. So MM0, not to bring Star Wars into this, but I doubt Ralph Macchio would have agreed to reprise the role of the writers producers. We're going to disgrace character in the way Luke Skywalker was. Could be, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But even I think he knew that like this would the reason why we were blown, just think of it this way, the reason why we were blown away with Cobra Kai is it completely destroyed everything that we knew and thought we knew about Karate Kid, right? The saga continues in Cobra Kai. It destroyed everything, and that is why it was so powerful. That's why it pulled us in. That's why we were all stunned because it shared a storyline that we didn't expect, and it literally took a villain and put him into a different perspective, and that was the power of the writers. And so that, to me, I'm sure Ralph looked at this and maybe initially was like, "What? He's not there." But he had to know that this would cause some stir. This would cause a little bit of controversy. His character would be put in a different light. But there's always moments of redemption in season one and season two where you start to see parts of the old Daniel, and then he turns right back down the corner. So it's this conflict that he has within himself that that has become so compelling. And same thing with Johnny. Johnny's trying to change. It's almost like they're trying to do the same thing, like they're trying to change a path, except it keeps causing a collision, you know? And so that's what's been so powerful. 9 people in the chat right now. Let me scroll back. Man, you guys are putting a lot of comments in here, so I'm going to try to get through as many as I can. TNT says, no, I see Tori as bad. She kicked Miguel. She should have just pushed her into the pool. And when she saw the kiss and Sam, cried for Miguel, but Tori carried on with her life. Yep. I'm not a big fan of Tori. In case you guys don't know that, I'm not. It's probably because I've said this many, many times. I have kids, so I've seen her in different shows, and I'm just like, I had a hard time letting go of that. And but her character, I think she played her purpose. What's up, Dylan? What's going on, man? Thanks for joining. I'm sure you joined a few minutes ago, but I just saw your comment. Art, no, although Tori went too far, Sam is the one that started the rivalry, falsely accusing her of stealing her mom's wallet, which that's true. That is very true. And got jealous once Miguel. Yep, I agree. And this is where, like, I'm telling you, the writers did an awesome job because they kind of turned the characters. Even for Sam in season one, we saw one side of her, and then we saw, the other side of her where jealousy. And basically, she just be a teenager, guys. Like that's what it is. That's how I see it. Like at that age, emotion ruled everything. Like you didn't make decisions based on logic and probability and cause and effect. It was like, I'm upset now and I'm gonna take action, or this person did this, I'm gonna be spiteful and do it back. Like it's all emotion. Those are just kids. What's up, Bullet Scare 22? What's going on? Thanks for jumping into the stream. Sorry I can't talk today. Uh, and let me see. We're catching up. Lyric. Keep in mind, Johnny showed respect for Daniel at the end of the movie. Plus, Johnny saw that his Cobra Kai was terrible, even when Daniel. Even when Daniel thought so, I don't know why Daniel has problems. Yeah, it's kind of like I said, it makes good storytelling. So let me see. Art says Sam never apologizes to Tori for any of this or Robbie for two timing him. That's true, very true. Dylan says I have so much to catch up on. Let's see TNT, but that's the past. And Tori tripped Sam up. A lot of stuff on Tori right now, and she was just jealous. New Life says maybe because even all that, Johnny came back to resurrect Cobra Kai. Who knows? Bullet says just found a subscribe to your channel. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. And so let's see what you guys think. Like, I think. Well, let me ask you this question: do you think that Daniel will find an opportunity to redeem himself? Like, let me just ask you that because I think, like I said, all the comments and things that I've seen from this last post that I did yesterday, everyone's holding on to his past, right? That this is the character. And so that's why I understood that some people were going to have a hard time with his last video. But do you think that he has the potential to redeem himself? And if he did, where does that leave Johnny? If like Daniel comes forward and now he becomes a hero when he tries to right these wrongs, where would that leave where would that leave Johnny? And let me give you one last observation that I had, and I didn't put it in the video just because I felt like the video was going too long. Like it was 17 minutes. Usually my videos are about 10 to 12 minutes, but I just like kept going, and I was like I was gonna stop at 7 reasons. I had like 12 reasons, but I kind of kept cutting them down, right? But there was one thing that I realized throughout there, and I didn't want to go back to rework it back into those 8 reasons. But the real truth is that Daniel was very self righteous throughout everything, especially in season one, that he was the person who could decide what's good, what's wrong, and what business should be in business, like his, but not Cobra Kai. He had this very self righteous attitude towards Johnny. And we all know Johnny was kind of like a bum, man. He just barely I mean, he could barely even pay his rent. And but he had this kind of mentality that he was very self righteous in the beginning, and it made him make a lot of decisions that he had towards Johnny, the way he treated Johnny, the way he was disrespectful to Johnny, even though he was playful, like in the dealership, where he's like, "Oh well, she technically wasn't your girlfriend." Like, come on, dude. Like, it's things like that that he was taking little jabs at Johnny's character from the get go, and so that's a fact. Go back and watch it. It's a fact. I'm not saying it was right, wrong, whatever, but it's the truth. But everything he did was kind of built on this self-righteous attitude that he knows what's best for everyone, not him. And the one thing that got him to react heavily is when Johnny called him out on that. When he told him, "Get your house in order, LaRusso." His reaction to that was because his self-righteousness was being challenged. And I'm just saying, what's up, Anthony? Thanks for joining. And so under the underlying theme with Daniel, which bothered me from season one, even a couple of years ago watching this, he had this kind of chip on his shoulder that he was the one that gets to choose what's right and wrong, based on his own values. Now, everyone has different values, guys. Everyone does. But based on his values, he gets to decide who's right and wrong. He gets to try to put businesses out because he doesn't like them. He gets to try to stop Johnny from getting into All Valley. He gets to decide all of this stuff because of his own self-righteous perception of how life works. And you guys can call me out on it. You guys can if you want, but that's the real truth. If you go back and watch it all again with that in mind, like that he's being self-righteous, I'm telling you, you will see it. And I came to that conclusion not trying to look for it. It was just like, man, what's up with Daniel? Like, what's his problem? So let me go back to the comments, guys. TNT says, jealous of Miguel. Speaking to Sam, I think we're still talking about Tori. Redeem is a strong word. I think he and Johnny, this is from New Life, will grow and evolve together as they join forces against Kreese. And yes, black and white thinking creates self-righteousness. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, Johnny kind of has, even though he does some stuff, don't get me wrong, he spray paints and all that. Like, yeah, he does that. But he kind of had this live and let live mentality. Like, whatever, I don't like you, LaRusso, whatever, just live and let live, whatever. And his buttons kept getting pushed. They both started pushing each other's buttons, guys. That's a fact. Like things were happening. They were on a collision course. But he kind of, if you just look at their perception of how to live, how they're living their lives, they're two different polar opposite perspectives. Live and let live is Johnny, self-righteous. You need to live by my code, otherwise you shouldn't exist. That's Daniel, and that's why there's so much conflict in all these small things. If you take them into context, all the things that caused this explosion, they were also small things. Well, except for Daniel. Daniel went after the big ones, like financially trying to destroy him. But I mean, over the course, there were all these little like subtle jabs and subtle things and whatever, and but it created this like massive eruption, and I guess that was what makes good TV, right? But it was very subtle. Let me see. Art says, it doesn't matter if it's the past. Sam never apologized. Historically calls Tori a peasant at the beach club. I have to go back and check. I think she does actually. Not everybody gets the Barrel Daddy's credit cards. Oh man. Lyric says, I feel bad for Johnny. He's lost everything. Daniel got what he wanted, but at what cost? Johnny's girlfriend left him. Students who was also a son, was in the hospital. Yeah, it's true. Like if you really think about like the progression of Johnny's character, he's back to exactly where he started. No dojo, probably drinking himself into misery, feeling alone, feeling he lost everything in his life. Like he's back to square one all over again. And if you can't help feel bad for that and that character, you're wrong. I'm just telling you right now, you're wrong. You have no heart, no soul. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I'm not kidding. So Delay says, I think Johnny came back to open a totally unrelated shop. Daniel would not have intervened. His beef was with Cobra Kai and what it stood for. Exactly. 100%. And that's the thing is like, was he really going after Johnny or was it really after what Kreese's legacy was? And clearly it was because of Kreese's legacy with Cobra Kai. So when Kreese shows up, that was the ultimate slap in his face because that's who he originally his anger was originally towards Kreese's version of Cobra Kai, and that's where I just kind of feel like Daniel always makes these assumptions and always makes these decisions based on something 30 years ago, not with what's going on right now. And where you can see it is like where you can really, really see it in Daniel is when Daniel and Johnny are in that Mexican restaurant together. And you can see they're in real space together for the first time. And you can see how he treats Johnny, how he makes comments. And then when he kind of pulls back the layer of Cobra Kai and actually sees Johnny as a person, that's when they get along, right? And that even happens when they're in the bar drinking in season one. You can see when he peels back that Cobra Kai veil and actually looks at Johnny as a man. These guys could be the best of friends, but that Cobra Kai, scar that he has dictates every single decision that he makes, and that's kind of what happens. Let me see. Anthony says Daniel's wife is going to leave him over karate, and they both going to start fighting over Ali again. That's a real possibility. And let me just talk about that real quick. Thank you, Anthony. What did I do? Let me tell you something, guys. And let's just talk real world, right? This is real world. It doesn't matter if Ali's intentions are all good to help. Just saying hi to Daniel, even if it's in passing at the hospital, you don't think that's going to cause conflict with his wife? Just a hi, just that's it. No contact, no Facebook, no none of that nonsense. Just a hi. You don't think that that's going to inject a whole bunch of other frustrations in their marriage just because of that? Of course it will. That happens in the real life, man. That happens in real life where somebody Facebook's messages you, an ex and all that, and it causes all this drama over someone that's not even physically here. Like, come on, guys. So I agree with you, man. It's gonna cause some type of drama. It's gonna cause some issues with their marriage, which they're already on the rocks. And to tell you the truth, I'm not really sure if Daniel recognizes what's really happening. And I think that's I didn't even put that in here because that probably would have made like 10 or 12 more reasons why. But I honestly, he's so consumed, and it's happened to all of us. You get so consumed with something like YouTube, right? You get so consumed with something, something else is gonna fall. It even his wife says it in one of the clips in there that if you focus on something now or something, something else is gonna fail, and something that matters to you is gonna fail. So I don't really truly believe that he recognizes what's happening because he always has control. This is where we go back to the self righteousness, and you see it when he, I forgot what the guy was his name is that quit. Oh, I'll just call him and fix it. We'll fix this. He has this self righteous attitude that he can control every situation, including his marriage. And this is where he's wrong. Because his wife is strong and she's not gonna take no crap from nobody. And you see that constantly, man. You see it. That's what I love about her is he has this perception that he has control over everything, and if he doesn't have it, he is going to gain control over every aspect of everyone's life. And this is where I just don't think that he sees what's happening. And it may be too late. I don't know. I don't really know about that. I don't know if it's got to that point, but he's got to recognize what's really happening, and that literally this rivalry is destroying his family, and at what cost? At what cost? Okay, let me go back to the comments real quick. Hold on. Says Johnny should open. This is from Art. Johnny should open a dojo called Iron Eagle Karate. That's not a bad idea, man. Let me see. New Life, I see you agreeing with that. Lyric, Mr. Miyagi's in heaven. Mr. Miyagi, I wonder what Daniel's son is doing. Season 1 and season 2. Mr. Miyagi, son of a, and then it trails off. There's a rumor that Ali and Amanda may butt heads in season 3 over Daniel. Yet another love triangle. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Like these things can be done very subtly. Like it doesn't even need like a scene of them all together, or like I said, the hospital would be cool, but it could just be a Facebook message with Ali not even being present that can stir all of this stuff, man. And that's the beauty of film and all that. You just have to subtly put things in, and it can stir something where it doesn't have to be two episodes of Ali being in the middle of it. It could just be something subtle that sets off a fire, and that's kind of they've done that season 1 and season 2. If you go back and watch it, there's like these little subtle hints that explode later on. Andy says Daniel is blinded by Cobra Kai. 100%. Ali and Johnny would be a good couple. I think so too. But here's the thing. Look, where he's at in life right now, you got to remember, I don't think he's fit for that right now because his mindset has gone down the toilet. Now, if she met him, let's say in theory, Ali came back while he was at his peak before all this stuff happened in Cobra Kai. He was changing. He was taking a more fatherly approach. He's put Miguel as a priority in his life. And you see him peeling back the onions and sharing stuff about his life. If at that moment Ali was single, because she's married, but if she was single, I think they could have reconnected. But where he's at now, it's like a truck on fire with some gasoline being thrown on it. If you've ever met anybody in your life like that, guys, at any point in your life, you meet someone, you get into a relationship while their life is a train wreck, I'll pray for you, man, because it's not going to end well for you. I'm just saying, it's not going to end well. And so I think she's smart enough to not get involved with that. But I think in spirit, she's there to help maybe Johnny, maybe Daniel, and maybe Miguel, hopefully. Let's see. Exactly, A New Life says his life circumstance may be a hindrance to romance with Ali. Anthony says, I see Ali walking right by Daniel in the hospital. Daniel just looked like he did when he saw Miguel and scouted his costume. Yeah, I can see that too. His look. Yeah, I'm gonna reenact it for you guys. Just kidding. Let's see. That was awkward, right? New Life says, but she should come also as an inspiration for him. Yeah, I think he will. I think she will be an inspiration and help bring something to Johnny's table. And I'm telling you, just being present is going to stir something up in his marriage. Maybe Ali is just what Johnny needs to get back on track. Definitely. Luke says, I wonder if Chosen would mentor Daniel in season 3. That would be awkward and very interesting. Now, let me ask you this. Let's go back to Daniel's character as it relates to the last video I just posted. Do you think that he, at this very moment, that he's humble enough to ask for help? That's like the big $1 million question, because if he did, it would change the trajectory of his character and the arc of his character if he is humble enough to want to right the ship. And that's the thing is, season one, season two, you see no sign of that. He's just trying to do what he wants to do for his own selfish reason. And so it'd be interesting. I think that if he humbled himself down, and I think he will at some point, and that's where you'll see the balance shift back to the Daniel that we knew and that we grew to love. It's going to happen, guys. It's going to happen. But is he ready for it right now at this moment with turmoil, marriage? He might be at his breaking point. But the truth is, in life, when you're at your breaking point, you're more susceptible to realize that what you've done in your life to this moment isn't working. It's not working. So something has to change. So he may be ready for it, but just what I've seen, I'm not sure if he really is. Like, what more? Let me ask you this question. What more would have to happen to push Daniel to the breaking point where he realizes that he has to change, not everyone else? Because up until this point, it's about everyone else has to change. Johnny has to change. Kreese has. Everyone has to change. What would push him to the breaking point where he recognizes that he has to change? And so Anthony says his wife leaves him. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's probably what it would take. I don't know, but being a betting man, that's probably what it would take for to break him to start realizing, dude, you've been on a collision path that you created, that you've instigated, and at any time you could have been the bigger man and walked away. And ask yourself this. I know I'm throwing a lot of questions at you. In season one and season two, how many times did you ever see Daniel be the bigger man? I could think of one with Johnny. And when Daniel comes storming into his dojo and he's talking all this mess, you can see he's getting amped up. He's getting like frustrated because he's recognizing his dojo did something. Like, he knows that they did something. But he held his composure and he said, I'm going to be the bigger man. When have you ever seen Daniel be the bigger man in season one and season two? Hell, even in Karate Kid 1, when have you ever seen him? He hasn't, dude. He hasn't. I'm not hating on him. I love his character, by the way. I'm not hating on him. And he says that maybe Sam blames him for everything. Yeah, I could totally see that. Lyric says while his daughter's in the hospital. So you guys can kind of see where I'm going with all this. Man, it's been 37 minutes. Once we go down the Cobra Kai rabbit hole, I can talk for an hour. But I got to get going, guys. But hey, do me a favor. Check out that video. Tell me what you guys think. If you haven't seen it already, it's moving right now. I think when I checked it, the analytics, like real time, I released it late last night, like around 9 Pacific Standard Time. So it's at like 250 views, which isn't bad. If it can get to 500, by 9 o'clock tonight within one day, that's pretty good for my channel. I got a small channel, so I'm okay with that. But I'm looking forward to do more Cobra Kai stuff with you guys. Anthony says, when is the Cobra Kai watch party? I'm working on doing another Q&A where we talk about Cobra Kai. We'll spin the wheel, all that stuff. So, but there's been a lot of things going on. So I'm trying to get all together, trying to figure it out. Because we're going so long on this one, maybe tomorrow I'll actually share with you guys what happened when I went to go meet this film company, and that I'm getting ready to transition into doing an apprenticeship. So I'll share more about that tomorrow, because that'll take another probably half an hour, 35 minutes. And but it's been fun, guys, and I appreciate everything you guys do for this channel. I appreciate all the support. Make sure you hit that like. And if you want to see some behind the scenes stuff, if you want to see things that are happening before the videos get released, then check out our Patreon, guys. $3 a month, you can get the minimum. You can see all that stuff. $5 a month, you get some more stuff and all that. So check out the Patreon. It's in the link. Thank you, New Life, for being a patron. Really appreciate it. She gets to see all the stuff, so she kind of knows what is the next video is going to be about. Kind of. Got a little bit. She got to see a clip of it. So I'm going to start doing more things like that. All the behind the scenes, all the videos, all the kind of insights that I've been working on, that's all going to be on Patreon, guys. So if you can afford to do it, a couple bucks a month, I don't think you're going to be disappointed. Cost of a cup of coffee at Starbucks. Check it out. I think you're going to really enjoy it. So stay tuned, you guys. And have a great weekend. I'll probably see you guys this weekend. This weekend, we're probably going to also do our first live on the family channel, because we moved all the family content to TRN Family. I don't think I have that link in in the chat. I probably forgot about it. But Stay tuned, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great day. Be safe out there. Be nice to somebody. And let's have a good day. Cobra Kai, son. Cobra Kai never dies.